Hey everyone, Random Randy here. This is Yarn Talk episode 61. This is going to be pretty short this week because I only have a few things finished, and the other things that I'm working on are pretty much just the same things I've been working on because I'm going through my ridiculously long backlog of whips. If you are new to the channel, Yarn Talk is a knitting and crochet podcast generally delivered weekly, guaranteed to give you your recommended dose of fiber arts. If you are worried that your fiber intake may be lower than the recommended dosage, you may want to subscribe to the channel so that more awesome projects like these can continue to keep your hands and your heart full. So this week has mostly just been about trying to finish up things and get organized so that I can continue to finish more of the things that I've had on the go for what feels like a million years, even though I have the horrible, itchy finger urge to start all the things. I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. So I'm going to show you the few things that I do have done, briefly talk about the things I'm working on, and that's pretty much going to be it for this week. So first thing that I have, which is finally finished, which is exciting. I finished the pink granny stripe Afghan, just like I figured I would. I think I actually finished it that same day that I filmed last week. So this is the pink granny stripe Afghan. I did end up having 2 balls of the ice yarn left. I thought about putting them on and decided not to. And when I showed it, I was just at this row right here. So I finished off from here to here, either that same day or the next day. So I haven't measured it yet, but in either direction, this is a substantial lap Afghan, definitely decent for one person to sit on the couch, or it would make a very good baby through toddler blanket. So I'll probably be measuring that and posting it in my shop sometime in the next few days. So that is done, which is super exciting. I really like the way that the stripes turned out on it. So that is done. Another thing that I have finished but I don't have on hand is a cotton market bag. I wanted to use up some of my cotton, so I found a pattern. It was a free pattern from Lion Brand, and I kind of altered it. I made it longer than the pattern called for and did a few more decrease rows because I didn't like how wide it was, and it didn't seem like it was pulling in at all, even after doing all of the recommended height rows for it. Yeah, but it is strong enough to carry groceries in, and I made it for my mom, who got a big order from my Etsy shop because that's what my mom does. And New York has been talking about imposing a plastic bag ban, so I sent her a printed copy of the pattern since it's a free pattern, and sent her the bag to get her started. So that is the bag, which I finished. That took me about 2 days, working on other things kind of back and forth in between. 2 other things that I have finished have this adorable little kitty cat right here. This is actually not what the pattern called for at all. This is actually from a combination of paid patterns and me just making stuff up on the fly. This is the creepy, cute voodoo doll pattern, is where the body and the head and the arms and the legs came from, but by the same designer whose name I cannot recall, but I will put links down in the description box below. I found it on Etsy. She also has a basic body design for a doll, and it has a bunch of add-ons for holidays and a little black cat-eared beanie was on one of them, so I figured I'd just use the ears, turn this into a cat, and I made a tail. Very similar manner to the way the arms are made. Now this doesn't, the arms and the tail don't have any stuffing, they don't have any pipe cleaners or chenille stems or anything in them. They are just so tightly crocheted that they are mildly posable, which is kind of cool. This is super small, but Killian has pretty much claimed this for his own. But I am planning to make quite a few more amigurumis with the same basic body type and the other one that was in the other pattern. And like I said, I'll link those down below. They were both pattern packs that had multiple, pretty much just the same body type, but there were a ton of different add-ons for them. Pretty cool. And Killian has pretty much claimed this as his own at this point. Yeah. Other finished thing that I have is a coaster that I made just on a whim. I was watching TV and everybody else had gone to bed and I wanted to do something but didn't want to work on any of the stuff that I already had. Many of you who are crafters know that same problem, but I wanted something small that I could just get done in maybe an hour worth of watching TV, not something that was going to be another long-lasting forever project. So I searched around through my boards on Pinterest. I was just looking at squares. I have a board that has a bunch of different motifs and squares and things of that nature that could be used for blankets or for coasters or honestly for making anything if you pieced the motifs together in just the right way. But I found one that was, it was from a chart. But it was from a chart that was on a Spanish website. I'm assuming Brazil. I think BR is the end of a web address for Brazil. Anyway, I will link to this particular pattern. It's very pretty. It's very open. And I just made this with Lily Sugar and Cream cotton. It's denim something or other. I've got like 3 balls of it. But it's quite open. It's a decent size. I made this with an H hook. If I had made it with a G hook, it would have been smaller, but I wanted it to be big enough for either a glass or a coffee mug. And I'm going to be making a few more of these just to have around, which I know the kids are going to use more as probably blankets for their stuffed animals than anything else. But it is a very cute motif. It was very simple. I actually used my phone to look at the chart, so even looking at it itty bitty super teeny tiny, I could figure it out. Really nice, really simple. Didn't use up a lot of yarn, but if I make a set of 4 or 5 of them, it'll probably use up maybe 2 of the 3 balls. So that is all that I have right now for finished objects. And I have a few active works in progress. I am hoping to finish 2 of them by the end of this weekend. We do have a long weekend because it's Memorial Day, so my husband is off today and tomorrow, and he's actually fielding Killian, who has been very upset that I'm down here filming because I wanted to get this done as quick as physically possible, and with kids running in and out, filming a 15-minute video can take 2 hours. Yeah. Anyway, so the things that I'm working on finishing, I am still working on my second witchy sock, which I'm doing toe up. I haven't really made a lot of progress on that. I just haven't been feeling knitting with teeny tiny needles this past week. Sometimes I'm really all about it and that's all I want to do, but I just haven't been feeling it this week. So I'm hoping to finish up the second sleeve on my His and Hers outdoor sweater this week, because I really only have like half of a sleeve done, and then all I have to do is sew the sleeves together and put them on the sweater, make a neck, and the sweater is done. So hopefully this week I can at least get the sleeve done and maybe get them sewn on. I really want to have that done. That way I can hang it up on the back of my door and have it be my fitness goal for the end of the summer. I want to look good in this sweater and not look like I'm 3 months pregnant. Yeah, because I'm not. Thankfully. So, aside from the sweater and the socks, I am hoping to finish up the second of the dish towels I am making for my friend. And I should be able to finish the towel and hopefully get the 2 towel holders done, because she wanted some of those rings that it just hangs over the handle on your stove so that you can put a towel through it. So I'm going to be making those after I finish these. So this is what the first one looks like that I made. And this is the oops I was talking about last time. Right here, it was supposed to still be regular decreases, so it would come to a square point, and then I would have picked up stitches along the edge and gone back and forth to make it rectangular and hang this way. But instead I wasn't paying attention, because when you're knitting with children that happens. And I was decreasing by 1. I was increasing where I was supposed to, but I was only decreasing 1, and you're supposed to decrease, yarn over, decrease again, so you're actually getting 1 stitch smaller each row, and I didn't do that. So I was actually just keeping it the same size until I got to about here, and then I started decreasing it again and made the handle loop the width that I wanted it. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the second one, which I'm working on now. And I just got to do a few decrease rows last night, which you probably won't be able to see really well. I don't know, maybe if I pull it over onto the needle portion, you'll be able to see. But it's just starting to come in from this point here now. And this yarn is the Premier Home Cotton. This is Tangerine Splash is this colorway. And this is actually an 85% cotton, 15% polyester. So according to the label, that means that allegedly it dries faster, lasts longer, and the colors will stay more vibrant. That's this one. This was a Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. I don't remember what the colorway was though, but it's the brown and white barber pole marled one, whatever that is. Because I got it on sale for less than $2. So working on that, keep this one in here so that pretty much what I'm doing, since I don't knit enough to be able to look at this and actually count the stitches, I just keep laying the orange one on top of it so that once it gets decreased down to this point, I'll know, okay, that's the spot where I need to make sure I'm just going back and forth for a couple of inches to make it the same size as this one. I do pretty much everything by measuring. I don't like to count stitches. But it usually turns out pretty well as long as I stay consistent with my sizing and keep it in the same spot. So that is really all that I have for right now. I'm hoping to be filming another Flasher Stash this afternoon. I might actually just go through both of my remaining yarn shelves because it's mostly bigger yarn. I think I'll see how long it takes me to go through everything on the next shelf first, because right now I am to the shelf that is mostly the bigger Hirschner's yarn and Caron 1 pounds, and then the bottom shelf was once upon a time just all Red Heart yarn. So I might be able to get them both done. Maybe I'll film them both separately and put them together. Depends on how long it turns out. I guess we will see. And then maybe be doing a little more destashing. I know there's a few things on that shelf that I want to get rid of because I'm just never going to use them. I know I'm not. And I have sold a few of the things from the last Flasher Stash destash. I do still have some things to list. I need to actually go through all the remaining products I have pre-made and get them all listed. I need to assess what I have so that I can start stockpiling stuff. I'm considering looking into maybe trying a farmer's market booth for maybe a weekend. We'll see. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. I'd kind of like to do a live craft show because it's just a totally different experience from selling online. It can be stressful, but for something that was more local to me where I didn't have to pack everything in the vehicle, plan ahead to leave 3 hours before I needed to be there because it's an 1.5-hour drive, and I was going to be moving at peak traffic time, so it was going to take twice as long, and then time to unpack, get set up, be prepared for the inrush of people. Yeah, it's just... But something local where all I had to do was take my little pop-up tent and my table and set stuff up, that wouldn't be so bad. I might be okay with that. I really need to research that more. I actually have a few friends who have sold at farmers markets near here, so I really should talk to them. Should, but am I going to remember to? Probably not. But maybe by saying this, when I look back through it, I'll be able to go, hey, Randy, write that down in your planner, dummy. Because part of organizing myself the other day, I went through all of my current works in progress and works at rest, updated my list on my whiteboard, wrote down a list of things to get done between this week and next week, and I have a planner. I'm one of those people that I could schedule out my day in 15-minute increments just to stay on task and get everything done. And just having loose days where I have certain household tasks to get done isn't as organized as I want to be. Like, Sundays I water the plants, Tuesday or Wednesday I mow the lawn, things like that. Need more structure in my life to be as organized and as productive as I want to be. Working on that. And if you can't tell, I'm not sure how well you can tell with the way the light is shining everywhere, but it's been quite nice here the last few days. So Randy's got a little bit of sun going on my skin here. Yeah, which is exciting. I mean, for a really long time when I was younger, I wanted to be super, super pale and was angry that I tanned the way that I do, but now I've kind of accepted that this is my skin and this is what it does when I go outside. So if I want to be able to enjoy fresh air, being tanned is just part of it, and that's just how it's gonna be. So I hope you are all having an awesome weekend, and I hope you all have some plans to hang out with people and have some good food if you are one of those lucky people experiencing a long weekend. And for anybody who is, I know it's that time of year, it's nearly Memorial Day, so I'm sure the memes are going to be going around on the internet. Memorial Day, for anybody who isn't aware of the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day, Memorial Day is to celebrate and remember and be thankful to those who have fallen in service to their country. I know that a lot of people freak out when people thank service members for their service on Memorial Day because it's not geared towards people who are currently active duty. But there's nothing wrong with thanking somebody for doing their job that helps keep you safe and, for the most part, as free as people in the United States get to be. So if you see somebody thanking a veteran or somebody who's active duty, don't be a jerk about it. Seriously. Just be thankful that they're thankful for you or them doing their job. End of my rant. One of the joys of being an army wife is seeing people get really snarky and nasty about stupid stuff like that. Just don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk. Be good to people. Take a line from the great philosophers Bill and Ted. Be excellent to each other. That's all. So that is it for me for this week. And in the next couple of days, you'll be seeing another flash or stash from me, but I'll be wearing the same clothes because I'm filming it today. Getting all the filming done so that I can get the editing done, have everything go up, and everything will be awesome. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.